Okay, here I'm starting bread as you see it on page number 120. We need to move some stuff around before we can even get started. And this is basically steps 1 through 3, just to let you know what we're doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the rectangular marquee tool. Come on. And I'm going to move. Notice I'm not being too precise right here. I want to make sure I'm a little bit off the checkerboard right now, capturing some white there. Go ahead and select it. Press V for the move tool. I'm going to uncheck transform controls right now, just to make it a little bit clearer to work with. And I'm going to move this over to about here, okay? So you can see I'm a little bit over the edge at the end here. So the next thing I need to do Control Delta, is move these two here. This one and this one. So I'm going to move this one here first. I'm going to go ahead and select the regular lasso tool. I'm going to go ahead and put a selection around it. Remember, if you mess up and do something like that, just Control Delta to get out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put a regular lasso tool around that. Remember, to connect, you just need to overlap the ends a little bit, and that makes the rest of it there. I'm going to go ahead and select the move tool. I could have pressed V as in Victor to do that. I'm going to move this guy to right about here. Remember, you want to make sure that he's on the page. Don't do that, okay? Make sure that all of that's on the page, but about there. Okay, and Control D. Go ahead and select the lasso tool again. Want to move this one. Good. Move tool. Now, just make sure you're not doing something like this, because obviously that would take a chunk out of that other piece. So that's probably good right there. A little bit there. Okay, Control D. Now we're back to the checkerboard here and what we want to do to make it look like what's on page number 120. This time I'm going to use the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm probably going to be a little bit more precise in my selection. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. Now that I've got that selected, I'm going to go back to the move tool. I do want to show transform controls. Now, this is the only trick to this. I'm going to move my cursor so that it's over the bottom corners. And when I do that, I'm going to press the control key. You can see it turn to that white triangle. Now, I am still holding the control key down with my left hand. Whenever you see that white triangle, you know that I'm holding the control key down with my left hand. I'm going to press the left mouse button down here, and I'm going to pull. This is why we want to make a little bit of room. Release the mouse button, release the control key. Go to this corner here, press the control key, put it in the sizing handle right there, press the left mouse button down, and stretch it out this way. And that's about right. Release the mouse button, release the control key, and Control D. Oops. Okay, before we do this, because we're making a transformation, that was a slip on my part. Making a transformation, we're altering the size or shape of an object. We need to confirm that with the check mark. Your check mark's probably somewhere around here. Mine's way over here on the corner. And there we go. Now we can Control D. And that's how you get started on the activity bread. Starts on page 120, and that's steps 1 through 3.